This is an actual account given by a family carer. Fred, diagnosed with dementia, was experiencing a pseudo-bowel obstruction, which is where no physical blockage is present in the intestine. Over 2 days, Fred was moved to 5 different wards.
One morning, I went in at 7 a.m. I'd gone in to shower him, and as I walked onto the ward, I heard this terrible noise. And then I realised it was my husband. As I walked in further, I saw him on the floor. He was under a chair and he was howling like a wolf. Everyone around him was just getting on as if it was just normal. When he saw me, I could see he was scared. How could they do that? I know that they're busy, but he's a human being. I felt they just didn't understand him. No one. And that is frightening. He is just a human being.
Like Fred, many people with dementia live with more than one health condition. As the symptoms progress, many people find it harder to manage their everyday health alongside the dementia. This can include things like taking medication, keeping track of appointments, or noticing when something doesn't feel right. Because of this, family members and carers often gradually step in and take on more responsibility. This usually happens little by little, and often without much guidance or support from care professionals. Care can become very focused on dementia alone, and health conditions like diabetes, heart problems or pain can be overlooked. Or like Fred, the focus is on the health conditions, with no understanding of why he was reacting with such terror. Managing multiple health conditions takes a whole-person approach, and the need for health and care professionals to understand how to tailor the support they give to meet the needs of people as individuals. By listening to what matters most to people with dementia and their carers, we can improve information, support, and care. Better understanding leads to better support, and a better quality of life for everyone involved. Many professionals understand dementia in theory as forgetfulness, confusion, or losing keys. But carers describe something very different. As one carer put it, it's a veneer of understanding. It's way more than memory loss. When dementia isn't fully understood, people can be seen as difficult, non-compliant, or even aggressive, when in reality, they may be frightened. So when you work with a person with dementia, ask yourself, do you truly understand what they might be experiencing? How can you look beyond the label and see the person, not just the disease? Do you know where to direct people for support, what information to give them, and how to help them better manage their overall health? Caring for someone with dementia often means navigating health services, social care, and support systems. For many families, this becomes one of the most stressful and overwhelming parts of the dementia journey. Carers frequently describe these systems as difficult, fragmented, and hard to access, leaving them feeling confused, exhausted, and often alone in trying to get help. A common feeling carers describe is, nobody tells you anything. Important information is often missed, not because carers aren't capable, but because no one explains what support is available. This can include things like funding options, council tax reductions, home visits instead of hospital appointments, or access to practical aids, equipment, and community services. Many carers only discover this support years later, after struggling on their own. Accessing services itself can feel overwhelming. Dealing with social care is often described as complicated, paperwork-heavy, and difficult to navigate without specialist knowledge. Assessments can focus heavily on finances, rather than the emotional strain, exhaustion, and realities of day-to-day caring. Some families spend large amounts of their own money on care, only to later discover their loved one was entitled to full NHS funding. That can feel deeply unfair, and very distressing. Managing medication is another major challenge. And when a person no longer recognizes those around them, this can lead to distress, confusion, or even aggression. Tablets may be refused, chewed, hidden, or spat out. It can be difficult for carers to know what has actually been taken, or how much. Some essential medications can't easily be changed to liquid form, but remember, a carer may not know they need to ask for this. Specialist support such as medication reviews or speech and language therapy can make a real difference. But many carers say they have to push for this help themselves. Never assume carers know what support exists or how to access it. Communication failures are one of the most distressing parts of dementia care. Professionals may continue to speak directly to the person with dementia even when it's clear the information is not being understood or processed. As one carer described, "They just talked to him. It was going right over his head." Moments like this can leave families feeling invisible, and the person with dementia confused or overwhelmed. However, there is a real balance here, for care professionals, to include people, while also assessing capacity. Consent conversations can be especially difficult when they are not handled with sensitivity. Explaining serious risks such as death or medical complications to someone who cannot retain or fully understand that information can cause real and lasting distress. In these moments, families are often left trying to protect their loved one, while professionals focus on following legal processes. But good care is not just about compliance. It's about communication, understanding, and compassion. As we saw with Fred, his wife felt the nursing staff didn't understand he was frightened. No one was taking the time to understand what Fred was communicating through his behavior. For people living with dementia, pain is frequently missed because people with dementia cannot locate or describe it. When the person with dementia doesn't have the words to explain, they communicate through their actions and reactions. Imagine waking up to a stranger trying to inject you while you believe you are perfectly well. How would you react? In care settings, confusion turns into panic. Resistance to care is self-protection. Silence is often pain. These are not behavioral problems. They are unmet needs. Behind every action is a person trying to make sense of a world that no longer feels safe. If you can understand a person's behavior as fear or pain, this can change everything for their care. Good dementia care does exist. When professionals listen to carers, adapt communication, and see the whole person, outcomes change. That little connection makes the world of difference. Doctors who review medication holistically, practice nurses who advocate for mobility support, clinicians who slow down. These moments don't require more time. Just different priorities.
The butterfly scheme was so well embedded in the hospital. All the staff are well trained, from the cleaners up as it should be the security staff. Everybody is absolutely on the ball. So for me as a person with dementia and seeing what they were doing for people with dementia, it was an absolute joy seeing that actually they were doing it right and it can be done.
Mum really took to the physio. He was just so natural with her. They talked and he just listened. Then he would look over her shoulder and see how we were responding. He didn't make a big thing of it, but it was clear he really understood Mum and dementia.
When the nurses who come to see Dad at home talk and listen to what he says, he responds so much better.
If I go to see my GP, she's lovely and she will take time to listen. I don't feel that I am being rushed out the door.
Yesterday I went for a checkup, and because I get the same nurse, I feel confident that she understands me.